Hello everyone, this is Bonnie at Good Earth Spa and I'm about to make some wholesale soap with you in just a second. Just let me get the chat pulled up on my laptop, which is right behind you, right behind the camera. You're streaming from my phone on a tripod. And I'm just getting the chat pulled up over here because that way I'll be able to answer questions live in case any questions come up. So the technique that I'm using is similar to a master batch technique. So if you've ever heard of master batching, it's basically when you measure all of your stuff for many batches all at once. And I'm using a modification of that. So I have in my other room where I do my measuring a big water jacketed oil heater. And basically it's a way to safely melt your oils. It kind of looks like a water heater. Only it has a water jacket and it has heating coil in it just like a water heater in your house. But then in the center you can put your oils and you can safely heat them up without overheating them. It's a little bit better than heating them up on the stove, especially if you have a lot of oils. But I don't put all my oils in there. I only put the hard oils in there. I put the coconut, in this case it's going to be coconut, cocoa butter, and beeswax in the soap. Hello from New Zealand. So that's what I did. And then, so if it were a regular master batch technique, you would put all of your oils in that container and heat it all up and you'd be ready to go. But my modified version, I'm going to work in slightly smaller batches. Instead of doing one large batch, that would be 32 loaves of soap, I'm going to do 4 batches of 8. And the reason why I like 8, here's the liquid oils, by the way, in a separate container for the next batch, ready to go. I have them measured out separately. The reason why I do it separate like that is because, for one, the trays on my soap curing tray, hello in Miami, they hold 8 loaves of soap. And another reason is each of my ovens holds 8 loaves of soap. Hello in Quebec, Canada. Or should I say, bonjour. Okay, so the soap that I'm making today is going to be, it's for a customer who purchased wholesale, and it's going to have a little swirl, and it's going to be swirled with vanilla and orange. And I don't want to give out my customer's information because I just don't know that that would be a good idea unless they told me it was okay. But I'm just going to leave that information out, and then I'm going to get started on this. Hello in Belgium. So what language do you speak in Belgium? I don't remember. maybe German, or is there a Belgian language? You'll have to tell me so I can try to say hello to you in your language if I know it. If I don't know it, then just English. Okay, so I'm ready to go here. And this soap, since it has the beeswax in it, has to set up a little bit fast. So I have to kind of go quickly with this. And let's see. French and Flemish is the answer. Okay, well, I guess bonjour was maybe good for both of you then. Okay, I don't know what, I'm not familiar with Flemish. Okay, so I'm going to get started, and I'll try to look over from time to time, but since it's going to set up quickly, you know, if I don't get everybody, if I don't say hello to you right away, I'll try to when I can. Okay, let's see, I'm going to put that. All right, I'm going to just mix this up a little bit, but not too much. Let's see, I'm going to put that in here. So was saying, I'm actually going to be doing this 4 times today. So what you see me do today, I'm going to do it again. I have 2 ovens, so I'm not oven processing the soap, but I'm oven insulating the soap. So I do want it to go through a gel phase. So I'm going to insulate it in the oven. While I do that, I'm going to make sure everything is set up for my other 2 batches. So I'm going to do 2 batches back to back, and then I'm going to take a little break and make sure everything is set up again. My oils and my lye solution are already ready for my next batch that you're not going to see. You're just going to see me do this one. And that is how I do what I call a modified master batch. So you have some benefits of the master batch technique in that you can prepare your stuff before you get going. And then some benefits of working in smaller batches too, in that it's easier to control and it's easier to lift heavy pots of oils. And each batch fits, in my case, in an oven and in a tray. That's why I went with the size of 8. Okay, I'm gonna start with this side is getting orange essential oil. This is 5-fold oil, which really holds a lot better in your soap compared to regular essential oil. So the 5X, it's really good. It smells really good. Then next over here, you can see I have my stand out here too, my lab stand. This is a very useful tool, plus a funnel because I'm doing a funnel pour today. And this is, it looks so dark because it also has vanilla oleo resin in it as well as the fragrance, you know, for a natural component. So it will come out with a swirl, but you won't be able to see it until tomorrow. Okay, let me check out the chat over here. Have some people speaking to each other, so that's good. Okay, I think that's gonna be okay. Just checking the lighting real quick. Let me open the blinds. Ah, that's a little bit better because it looked a little dark in here. Okay, so let me check this. I'm checking for a trace. It's kind of thin, but I like to start this one thin because, like I was saying, it does set up quickly, but I want to mix this one a little bit more, I think. Get those bubbles out. Check this one. I'm just kind of making soap like normal. The cool thing about the oil heater, that it came from soapequipment.com, by the way, in case you were curious about that. After the video is done, I'll put some links under the videos, so if I reference anything, you can check there. A lot of times people ask me where I got certain things, such as the buckets that I use or other equipment, but I'll link you to some of those places. And let's see, as it pours on the first pour, I do like to make sure that it's kind of centered. And now I'm just alternating pours with this 2-color funnel swirl. Be able to get just a tiny bit more in there, but that's it. Okay, so let's check my angle over here. You can see it okay. Okay, that looks good. All right, I'm gonna move this one out of the way. Get that up there, and then I just get the next one and let's go. And I think last time I started with orange, so this time I'll start with vanilla. I'm making a little bit of a mess here, but I'll clean it up later. That just happens sometimes. I always love this scent too. Sometimes I put a tray under all of this too, so it's easier to clean up in between batches, but today I just figured I will just clean it up. Maybe just a little bit more in there. Yeah. And it's starting to get thicker now already. So that's something to be aware of when you're working with funnels, because it will go through the funnel a lot slower. Sometimes by the time I get to the last loaf, I'm like, is it gonna get through that funnel? Yes, in the comments, delicious combination, orange and vanilla like a dessert. It reminds me of a creamsicle. Delicious, delightful creamsicle. But it won't look like a creamsicle because of the dark color of the vanilla. But it will smell like one. I just kind of do a little swirling here to get the try to make it nice and liquid. As the soap gets thicker and thicker and thicker, a little bit of motion seems to help with that. Okay, looks like 3 left. Let me start with vanilla because I like to start with the one that maybe it looks like I have a little bit more of. Either that or I like to alternate. I like to make it so that they look different, but the funnel pour doing it this way makes it look like rings within rings. So whichever one you pour first, your outer ring is going to be that color. I did vanilla first last time, so I'll do orange first this time. Another reason why it's good to modify that master batch technique and do it like this is because this soap does set up quickly. So I did used to do a kind of like a large batch technique, and if you have one that sets up quickly because of an ingredient such as beeswax or maybe because of a fragrance that causes it to set up too quickly, for any of those reasons, this seems to be a good way for me to do it. So I kind of adjusted the process a little bit specifically to deal with that situation. And this is my last one. It's my last one, but it's one of 4 batches in the I don't know what you call it, in the master batch. The modified master batch, whatever I called it in the title. And I'm down to just the last bit. Okay, and oops, spill a little bit, but that's okay. I think that finishes up the last loaf for me. Okay, now I'm going to have to get a little single cavity mold to put just the extras from these containers, just to not waste it, put it somewhere else. Let's see. How about haven't used these in a while, and I happen to have my lab stand ready, so there's not a lot in there, but how about I put this cylindrical molds to use and see about doing that. Excuse me. See what I get. I might not get very much, but I can, whatever's in here I can fit into here just for my extras. It's always fun doing the funnel pour into a cylindrical mold because the rings really look cool. I would do it more often, I guess, if people purchase the round soaps, but they don't seem to really sell as well for me compared to bars. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm not offering the right scent or something. Alright, well that'll give me a nice bar. And then I'll clean up all this stuff. And then I'm going to immediately go into the next batch as soon as I clean up everything else. But I'm going to end the filming now. So maybe I will continue to pour my extras from the next 4 batches into here because that would turn out pretty cool. And they're all the same soap because it's the same batch. Well, it's sort of the same batch, but it's kind of 4 different batches too. So all I'm going to be doing, I'm going to end up with 32 loaves. The order was for 30, but I like to do a little bit extra, and 32 puts me equal with my 8s. And that way, if any of the bars come out too small, or maybe the end piece just doesn't look very attractive, I give the 30 best ones to the customer. Okay, so yes, too bad. I'm going to end the filming now, but I just wanted to talk about this process a little bit. Maybe it will help somebody else out. If you, you know, sometimes you have to think about what you can change to be more efficient. So that's kind of a thing I did. It's kind of like a hybrid between a master batch and a regular batch. So I'm using some of the tools and some of the techniques of a master batch, but some things I'm still measuring per batch. So that's it. And have a great day. Have a great week. Hello. Goodbye. People saying hi in the chat, and now I'm saying goodbye. So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.